Rajasthan Royals teams. It is a team that twice in this IPL season has lost while not managing to chase 9 in the last over. It's a team that has lost, not managing to chase 18 in the last 2 overs. 5 straight losses, and suddenly they wake up in some fine fashion. Today, out of all those days, probably the toughest days, where you're chasing 210, where you have to be attacking from the word go, and they win that particular game. The same team who can't chase 9 in the last over chases that 209 with 25 balls remaining. I repeat, with 25 balls remaining and 8 wickets in hand. It seldom happens when you're chasing more than 10 and over and you win with such a margin. That's why I'm saying this Rajasthan Royals team this season has been an enigma. Before we talk about Rajasthan's team and all the errors that Gujarat Titans made, I think it's only fair that we start with the hero of the game, and that was none other than a 14-year-old in Vaibhav Suryavanshi. What we witnessed this evening is a rare thing, not just in the IPL, not just in T20 cricket, but probably in international cricket, where you've seen 100 of just 35 deliveries from a young boy who isn't even old enough to shave. With me, Siddharth Gulati and Shashwat Bhalla. First thing that comes to your mind, I think the whole show should be dedicated to just what Vaibhav Suryavanshi has done today.
I think let's just begin by saying one thing, and I never thought that I would say this thing at least for the next few years or so. How many times has it really happened that Yashasvi Jaiswal has scored a 70 odd and the limelight is not on him? Yeah. It was actually on someone, a 14-year-old Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who stole all the limelight, from Yashasvi Jaiswal, who has been India's poster boy, the best batter across, Test and T20 cricket in the last couple of years or so. And what he did was absolutely magnificent. Smashing Ishant Sharma, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, you name the bowler, and he did that job to perfection. It just turned out to be an innings, a matured innings, I would still say, because it wasn't really slam bang cricket. He was watching the ball, playing his shots very well. Apart from a couple of shots which actually had a couple of, top edges written over them, it was just pure hitting, or brilliant T20 hitting that I've probably seen in the last 5 years or so.
Let's listen to Shashwat, who met him when he was 13 or 14 only?
13.
He was 13.
When I met him, he was 13.
Him when
he's just gotten 27 March now.
Oh, just turned 14.
Just a month back.
With Rajasthan Royals only, he was there. So when
you met him, it usually
I have a very interesting story.
No, I'll get to. Usually what happens is that when when a documentary will be made on him, some great documentary when he'll break all records possible, then they speak to different people, na? So they'll speak to you. What was he like when you met him as a 13-year-old? What did he say to you? How was he to look like? Did he look like 13? All those questions will be asked. So before you feature in a documentary, please share with our Sports Today viewers all those questions that I just asked you.
It's honestly very overwhelming for me personally. While coming, I just texted him as well. I was fortunate enough, I texted him that I was fortunate enough to be one of the very first few people who interviewed you before even this IPL. Before ever all the limelight was on him. And last time also when he made his debut, I did text him. I was happy enough that he could text me back during the IPL as well. That was a very good thing. I would have been even happier if he would have given me an interview after getting sold, but because of the contract, he wasn't able to do it. No, because he's in that bubble. He's not allowed right now.
So once bubbles are over.
No, bubble in the sense he's in that Rajasthan Royals care at this point.
Achha.
But just going back to that day, I clearly remember it was one of my first few, just my second interview as well, just for me as well. So I was really a little nervous as well. I had gone with Mr. Pawan Raj Singh from here. And I remember I went there, and going there, I somewhere, you know how Indian cricket works. I knew that he's definitely 13 on papers, but I wasn't expecting that when I meet him, I'll be feeling the same way as well. Because once I met him, you could see it on his face, the way he talks, the way, because so basically I did his interview and we left from there. We had left 100, 200 meters from there. Our dear producer checked that interview and unfortunately there was no audio in it. So he told me, and I said, no, we can somehow do something with it. But he said that after that Himmat Singh interview, this time it won't go on air if there is no audio. So it's better that we are still here. Let's go and do it there. So I reached back there. He was there only outside the hotel itself. So he was on his call and he was telling his parents that these two people came, did my interview. So then I said that there was some audio issue. He was kind enough to give that whole interview again. Then I spent a lot of time over there talking to him, his coach. He told a lot of things about how whatever happens and all these things. On his age factor as well, he was very, very confident, and it was very evident as well the way he talked. Even when we have a look at him right now, you can see that the way he actually talks and the way he looks. He looked
13.
Yeah, he looked 13 years old for sure.
But he's quite big for a 13-year-old, isn't he?
No.
Size-wise?
No. I think at 13, 14, I was also very similar. In that sense, attribute, not skill-wise. Nowhere near, not even today. Nowhere near to what he's just done.
Still a former test cricketer though.
No. But then and not just that, after that interview, I tried
So he looked 13 as in, how are you saying? Like he had chubby cheeks, like baby
fat.
fat.
Chubby cheeks, the way he spoke, that mannerism was there in him. Not just that, I tried to stay in touch post that interview as well. Thankfully, I did stay in touch with him. So all throughout that journey, once he was going to get selected for the under-19 India team as well, he was there at the NC. He was working a lot with Rishikesh Kanetkar over there. So he used to tell me over there that there is Umran Malik over here, there's Mohammad Siraj over here. I'm facing them in the nets. I'm really happy. Mohammad Siraj really likes me, he talks to me a lot. Umran Malik talks to me a lot. Then he told me that he's going for that under-19 India. In fact, very interestingly, that 100 that he got during that under-19 Australia Test series at fastest 100. So he got run out over there in a rather casual way, according to me. I think he did not drag his bat in that innings. So I called him a couple of days after that and I was talking to him. So I said that I told you earlier also that fitness, you need to work on him because you did not reach for that single. He said, नहीं भैया ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, पहुंच गया था, bat मैंने drag किया था. He was all those things, those things very evidently show that he's definitely a 13-year-old only. But it's really nice to see, and I very honestly, one thing that the first thought that comes to me, even Virender Sehwag said this that day, that lots of players get lost after such early fame, early success. They lose their way. But with Vaibhav Suryavanshi, I just have a very strong feeling and intuition, gut feeling, the vibe I get from him, that he's not one of those who will be satisfied with what he's already done. He knows that there's a long way. He knows that because when I interviewed him at that point also, he had already made a milestone by breaking Sachin Tendulkar's record of being the youngest to play the Ranji Trophy ever. So at that time also, that in itself was a big thing. Now compared to right now, definitely it does not seem that big, but at that point it was a very big thing. So at that point also, it was never like that he's had enough, he's had satisfied. All his other teammates also talked about this thing, that he's a pocket-sized dynamite because he will play his natural instinct, and that's exactly what he talked to me about as well a lot of times, that I play my natural instinct game no matter what. It's red ball, white ball, test cricket, any format I like to play. As soon as I have the ball in my radar, I want to go after it, and that's exactly what he's done today. I think short ball was a concern for him in the previous game where bowlers were constantly attacking him on the short ball, and unfortunately he wasn't able to hit sixes on the short ball. He was getting cramped. Today also bowlers tried and went after him with the short ball, but today he was ready for that and he deposited those balls in the stands in the square leg region. So very special knock. I'm short of words.
Have you sent him a message?
Yeah, I've already. I told you that. I've said that I am fortunate that I took your interview because that day he was feeling that.
Now.
Yeah, I've sent him. Sent him the message already.
Share with our viewers whenever you.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Whatever.
Sure. Whatever he responds.
Of course, everything that happens here, we have to share it with them.
I'll share it.
Part of Sports Today.
If he responds, because today I think that there will be too many.
Not today,
whenever
tomorrow, day after. You share it with a larger family that is there.
For
Let them
for sure.
know as well. Yes, I mean, I was just thinking that this is a kid who has never used a razor blade. This is a kid who loves to eat jalebis and lassi, likes to drink lassi. This is a kid who, I mean, from the face also, and I know the one thing I will talk about his age, because a lot of people on social media also tag me. This is the last time when he made his debut also and hit the first ball six. A lot of people tagged me and said, he's not 14, this and that. To them, I said one thing. Doesn't matter whether he's 14, 15, 16, whatever. That's not even a issue. Anyway, we have, he plays in the BCCI setup where there are rigorous checks for, age group cricket. He plays age group cricket. So I'm sure, there have been issues with some players in the past as well where they've tried to fudge the ages and they've been caught. So firstly, those processes are there. And if he's playing age group cricket there, I'm sure it must be all authentic. It must be all kosher. But despite that, what I tell anyone who is skeptical about his knock or whatever, I just say the fact that he is playing senior level now. Doesn't matter if he's 14, 15, 16, whatever. He's playing with the big boys, right? How does that... Even if he's 15, even if he's 16, whatever you may think he is, he's playing with the big boys. This is his first IPL. He made his debut just a couple of games ago at this level. And for him to play like this and show that it's not a flash in the pan, to have the courage and the determination and to be facing bowlers in match situation of the pace of the bowlers that he's play is all of it. I mean, if you put all of it together, it's all mind-boggling. It is incredible what this young kid is doing. Today's hitting as well. Absolutely clean. I mean, there wasn't even an occasion where it looked like, his sixes were, he just got lucky or things like that. Yes, there were a few edges that went to third man. But if you're going to throw your bat, as it happens in T20 cricket, even the best of batters take that risk. And by the way, even though they are edges, they do that because they know that there is no third man there. Interestingly, you'll see as soon as they put a third man in there, then he stopped playing those shots and he started just gliding the ball to third man. So he is sensible in that sense also, knows when to throw his bat because he knows there'll be no fielder if I get a top edge is going to go. So, and the kind of records that he's broken, there's only one man who scored a fastest 100 in the history of IPL ahead of him, and no points for guessing who that person is, Chris Gayle. So in that sense also, if Chris Gayle always remains in front of him, I don't think even Vaibhav Suryavanshi will have a problem, because it is someone like Chris Gayle who's quicker than him. He's beaten, like the likes of Travis Head, Yusuf Pathan, people who are known to Brendan McCullum, people who are known to get hundreds at such a quick pace. In just his third game of the season, third game of the season, he's done that. Absolutely fairy tale story. And today the bowling attack, GT, everyone arguably is saying is the best bowling attack this IPL. To have gone after them the way he did, I think words fall me short.
I think in case of GT, first of all, I would really want to ask both of you a question, that what would really be going on in the minds of the likes of Siraj, Ishant Sharma, Washington Sundar and the other GT bowlers, Prasidh Krishna, that were we, smashed all around the park by a top cricketer, or were we smashed around the park by a 14-year-old?
See, I don't think it'll be easy. For a bowler who gets hammered, it's never easy. Even if you are up against a Virat Kohli or a Rohit Sharma or whatever, a bowler, if you are a Mohammad Siraj or Ishant or Rashid Khan, you are not going to have a good night's sleep or a good dinner after you've been hammered the way in which you are. Even if you're hammered by Virat Kohli, as I said, or any top batter, it's not going to be easy. But I will say that today it'll be even worse. No matter whatever anybody says, that it's okay, it's international cricket, you are playing, not international, I mean international level cricket, you are going to be playing some big guys. No, sir. I think it'll be extra painful. And it's not so much about age, whatever. He's a youngster. He's a rookie. I think that's what I'm saying. Everyone is going to be obsessed with 14, 15, 16. That is not the issue. The issue is he's a rookie. He is someone who's not even voting age. He's driving you so well, whereas he does not have a license to drive a car. But he's driving you on the up and hitting fours and sixes. I don't think it can be easy. You will not sleep well. You will face this embarrassment, whether you like it or not, for a very long time. I don't think that anyone is going to be grudging him this thing. I saw most of the bowlers, seniors or whatever, some were congratulating him when he was walking. A lot of them congratulating him after the game is done. Rashid also, I saw, speak to him, congratulate him, because at the end of the day, everyone will be happy to see a youngster like him do well. I agree, even the opposition. But the pain will not be reduced, and it will be further aggravated knowing that he is a greenhorn, he is a rookie who's hammered you like you are a novice, like you are a first time. I am the senior pro, you are a first time IPL bowler who's just graduated. That pain will be there. Can't be easy.
See, the youngest member of the family has basically spoken or done a job so well on behalf of the experienced ones that all of the society members around that particular family now are going to be scared of him. It's the best way, I can put it. The youngest family member has basically done one thing, that utpaat macha diye ho.
I think one thing I think that has worked in his favor as well is that there was no pressure on him. There was nothing to lose for Vaibhav Suryavanshi. I think he would, since the day one, I think he would have been kept in an environment where he would have been given this assurance that whatever happens this season, you are one of the people we want to work on as a long-term thing. So there was nothing to lose. If he would have came out and played the first game, gotten out on a 0, again gotten out on a 0, still he had already grabbed the headlines because of making his debut at such an age. Just that fact, and then following your instinct, what this also shows is that if you continue to follow your instinct, maybe rather than he's not played the bowlers, he's played the ball. And I think that has really worked in favor of him.
I'm not sure. To the contrary, I think he would have had more pressure.
Exactly.
See, I'll tell you why. See, no matter who you are, again, as I said, look at him not as a 14-year-old or anything, just a youngster making his IPL debut. You know that this game can be cruel. You know that this game, even if RR wants to back you as a long-term prospect, you may not get a chance. We know of so many youngsters in the IPL who came as talented kids, maybe got 1 or 2 games, did not get chances after that, or did not get even those chances of playing 1 or 2 games. Yes, the only thing that really worked in his favor is that RR had a terrible season, and because of the terrible season, he gave a chance. Maybe if they were in contention for the top 4 till now, maybe he wouldn't have got that chance. Maybe you would have been like, no, I'll go with senior pros, I'll make some changes.
That was the problem with them. That's why once he was bought as well, I thought that he definitely had a chance to play in this 11 because they don't have too many batting options in the backup. They just have Kunal Singh Rathore and Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Yeah, but the thing is that, no, if they were in the playoff race, he wouldn't have got a chance.
Sanju would have continued.
You would have Sanju, even if Sanju is not there, you will make changes, get a lower order bat to come up the order. You make those changes, he wouldn't have come in. I think the credit to Rajasthan to have bought him, I agree. But once he was, if your team was doing well and within the chance, he wouldn't have got a chance to play in the 11. But now talking about pressure on him, it would have been immense. You know that what if his first few innings would have been 0? Because he was in limelight, he was in the news right from the word go that a 14-year-old has been signed. Those headlines would have been 10 times more magnified, and you would have said, oh, look at this 13-year-old doesn't belong here. Rajasthan bought him because of getting headlines. Rajasthan bought him because they thought, okay, let's have an experimental thing and increase our brand value. Because I did see some sort of comments like that were written that Rajasthan has only bought him to grab headlines, and it brings the team into conversation is not going to be. So I'm sure he felt that pressure. So for him then to come and play like this, it's incredible. Also, kid, at the end of the day, he's not that mature, right? He's 14 years of age. He's not that mature to be able to process a thing that it's okay, if I don't get now, I'll get a chance in the future. Just try and put yourself 14, 15, you would think that, it's like going for an exam.
Yeah.
If you're going a 10th board exam, you went into the exam paper that you thought, see, now you look back at that exam and say, it's okay, it was part of life, wasn't. But that time when you were giving an exam, you thought your whole life depends on that. If you mess this up, your life will be hell after this. It'll be, ruined. Now when you look back and say, it was one step in my entire journey, and it doesn't make so much sense. So for him, it must be like, okay, maybe I came 2-3 knocks, I didn't do well. Whole media would have written overrated, just came for headlines, blah blah blah. Not at this level. Let him go back. And for 3 years, nobody would have touched him. It was a possibility also. So I mean, pressure would have been immense. But I still, no matter how, even with Virendra Sehwag's standard, I don't think you can be this adventurous. Even Virendra Sehwag would
Not
have
just
been
that,
this
and I think a lot, just the way he times his ball, it clearly, there are, to be very honest, there are two kinds of players. One who work towards it, and ones who have it naturally in them. And once you're seeing those kind of players, you do, by the look of it, that who's somebody who's born with it and who's somebody who's really worked hard for it. With him, it's very, very evident that it's a gift of God. The punch that he has and the way he times the ball. I think that's something that you cannot develop. This kind of a punch and this kind of a timing. And that is something I think he has that gift, and he has realized that. And he's using that to the fullest as well. He realizes that my punch timing is really good. So if I go after the shots, if it's not even a ball that's need to be hit, if I go after that ball, I can deposit it. So I'm pretty sure that he has that maturity, and I'm really happy that he's gone in the right hands. And I want to give a lot of credit to Rajasthan Royals for this, because they have had him on board a couple of months even before the IPL started. He was there in Amravati with the Rajasthan Royals academy for such a long time. For so many months he was there training there. He was being given that confidence. So I give a lot of credit to the Rajasthan Royals as well. I remember he was being bidded by it was Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals who were bidding for him. I'm happy that he's gone to Rajasthan Royals, very honestly.
I think
Or also show us some comments.
yeah, I think in case of Suryavanshi, one thing that really excites me is that imagine, you being a 14-year-old, you're facing on the international level, you're facing someone who has played 100 test matches for India, another bowler who is one of the spearheads of India's pace bowling attack. Then there is a multiple-time IPL champion and one of the best bowlers in T20. Then there is Prasidh Krishna, who is a hit-the-deck bowler, very tall, can crank it up, and you're actually scoring them or smashing them for fun. What must really be going in his mind at that time when that innings was being played is something that's going to be very interesting to be read, once any of his interviews come out, or maybe, Shashwant can help us with it. I think that's going to be interesting.
Let's quickly take some comments. We usually take it at the end, but since we are celebrating this incredible knock, one of the most incredible knocks that we've seen in IPL history, or as I said earlier, maybe in cricket per se. So we'll take some of your comments, and that'll also give us a perspective as to what people really make of what they've just witnessed. Rakesh Bhushan says, though it's too early, I love the way Vaibhav celebrated after his 100. Subdued, that was impeccable. Unlike some other players, this shows that he has a wise head and looks to me like a long-term prospect. I think that's a good point that Rakesh Bhushan made.
That's what I just at the beginning also mentioned. He does not seem to be somebody who's going to be very happy with what he's already got. He realizes this fact. That's why I'm very, very strongly sure about this. As far as if I'm trusting my gut instinct, he's not somebody who's going to fade out very, very soon. He realizes what is at stake. He knows what he wants to do. The end goal is very clear, and till the time that end goal isn't achieved, I don't think he's going to stop. And after that also, why should he stop? And he realizes that, and that is something that I think makes him a little different from all the other youngsters in the IPL.
I can see that's an interesting visual there. Huh? I saw one of the selectors, that was Ajay Ratra, who's India selector, was there at the game speaking to Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Ajay Ratra travels a lot though.
See, he's the selector, no? He's supposed to.
No, I met him there also when Virat came here for the Ranji game. So he's the one
supposed to be
travel. He's from North Zone, right?
Yes, all selectors are supposed to travel and watch cricket. That's their job.
In their own zones.
In their zones, they can travel otherwise also. They travel internationally as well.
Do the people listen to them? That's a different thing.
What is that sort of a point?
No,
we are talking about
a
a selector speaking to a young kid.
What advice do you think as a selector?
And it's not even a question of advice. That's not the thing.
Well
a
played.
Selector,
just keep going, simple.
No, more than that, a selector talking to a youngster who's a national selector, who knows what is in his mind? Who knows? I'm just saying that it's too early to even think in that direction. But it's not often that You know, that's the thing about IPL. Till now, till 3 matches ago, people only knew Vaibhav Suryavanshi as some kid who got signed. Right now, he'll be the headline for the second fastest, not because of now no more his age. That's what I'm saying. In a span of 3 matches, he's made you forget his age. And now he's the guy who has smashed the second fastest 100 in IPL history. And who knows? Selector is speaking to him. I'm saying things are moving so fast for him.
No, are you really hinting at something?
I'm not. But
because
I'm saying,
I get a feeling from what you're trying to say.
Not at all. I'm saying that, see, even now the selectors can't be taking a call. These calls are not taken instantly. But I'm just saying, can you imagine for a young kid right now, a selector, if I'm a young kid right now, I'm just trying to think from my point of view. Earlier, the selector may not even know my name. Today, a national selector is coming and congratulating me. He now knows my name. He knows what I can do. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe day after, or 1 year, 2 year, 3 year down the line. I'm the guy. He knows me now. He knows what I can do. He's watched me now. He's the selector from my zone. Who knows what he's got? I'm saying suddenly, see how life has changed for him in 3-4 days. To just being some person they must have read about, to now a national, yes, local level, under 19 players would have known of him. Today a selector who's at a national level has seen him. Sometime, as I said, for him life has changed so fast, who knows? Year down the line we're talking about Vaibhav Suryavanshi, the India cricketer. There is how fast things change.
He will play the under 19 World Cup also, na?
Yeah, but India cricketer is
that
not
also.
under 19
No, but
World
I'm
Cup.
saying he still has under 19, so many
Under 19, he can play under 14 right now.
Yeah.
He can?
Yeah.
So,
Just 6, yeah, he can. Right now he can.
So imagine, I just imagine that scenario. This is what he's doing to a Siraj and Rashid and whatever. Some under 14, some young kid called Anshul Sharma from some area is bowling to him. What is going to happen? Somebody else will be bowling. It's actually a scary thought.
Sachin Tendulkar has tweeted for him.
And the whole world will talk about it, yaar. For all you know, Steve Jobs might... No, sorry. Cannot. Apologies for that.
Steve Waugh.
Steve Waugh would tweet. Then Viv Richards might tweet. Brian Lara, he's a fan of Brian Lara.
Yeah.
Brian Lara might tweet. So there's nothing... What he's done today is shaken up.
That's exactly what he's also said post-match, what I was just telling. It's a very good feeling. It's my first 100 in the IPL. It's my third innings. The result has shown here after the practice before the tournament. I just see the ball and play. Batting with Jaiswal is good. He tells me what to do and he gives me positive things. It's been a dream to get 100 in the IPL and today it's materialized. There is no fear. I don't think much. I just focus on playing. That's what all he wants to do is just see ball, hit ball. That's his mantra. That's the way he goes about his cricket across formats, no matter what. If the ball is to be hit, he will hit. On days it will look like that he's playing some foolish shots. He will have those stupid kind of moments. But he just needs to keep going because this is what he can produce on days. Very honestly, Rishabh Pant sort of the same. I'm not saying that he did not arrive so soon, but since his young age, this was the kind of template that even he followed. And he made such foolish mistakes all across his career as well. And he does it today as well. But you know what he can do on his given day. And that's exactly what even Vaibhav Suryavanshi, I think, is capable of doing at the top of the order.
It's what the RR captain Riyan Parag has also said. Riyan Parag, he said that we spent 2 months with him and we knew what he can do. And to do it against world-class bowlers, words can't express what he's witnessed. So that way, see, typical in how it happens in India, you have to now do video call
To everyone.
Some celebrity will come and say, now tell my Bhatija, here he wants to speak to you. So do the video call. Then you have to speak and you have to listen and whatever. No, but going back to what RR put him in that position, as you heard, because they had seen him do this again and again probably. Okay. AJ says Vaibhav has to leave Bihar if he wants to go big, as his coach also mentioned that here in Bihar players don't get water to drink during matches. AJ is from Bihar.
No, I'll tell you what. So basically in between once he was selected for the IPL. There was his coach gave an interview and he said that he should be going to Tamil Nadu. When this thing came, so basically Tamil Nadu has a domestic league where they can call players, where clubs over there can call players from outside, from different states, and make you play their league. That doesn't mean you can represent Tamil Nadu. So he made it I talked to him about that specifically because that was doing a lot of the rounds at that point. So he said that I have gotten an offer from a Tamil Nadu club to go and play that domestic league, but as of now I'm not thinking about changing my state. I personally feel why changing your state would not, at that point at least I thought, wasn't required, because in Bihar, he was directly in the playing 11 of the Ranji Trophy. He was playing Ranji Trophy at the age of 13 itself. If he would have gone to Mumbai or a Tamil Nadu, it would take time to sort of make it to the domestic level. So once you're playing the domestic level and you're doing well, you're already sort of one in that pool of players. So according to me, that was better, and that's what I said. Now it's his wish, whatever he wants.
No, he can look. If he's like, AJ is pointing out, there's no water to drink also for players. He can look at Assam is another option. He can look at playing.
But Assam, it will also depend on how many guest. You're saying they'll remove some guest players because you can only play 2 guest players, right?
Whoever, yeah, he can.
No, but rule is rule, na.
Yeah, so rule will not be bent. I'm just
2
saying
guest
there are.
players you can play.
But see, the other way of looking at it is that it's not that players haven't come out from Bihar. Ishan Kishan is continuing to play for that, so continue to play. And see, quite frankly, if you're a
Ishan is in Jharkhand.
No, he's from Patna, but
but he plays for Jharkhand.
Yeah, but
he's from Patna.
Yeah. But he left. He's not.
So he can also play for Jharkhand. Well, that's because Bihar at that time didn't have a cricket association. They were fighting, so he could not play. But he is from Bihar. Because there was no association, they were infighting. Who would he play for? So you can play. No, it's the erstwhile same state only. You can play for that. And see, also this issue with state level players is that when you are a nobody, then it's tough because then you can't break through. Now, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, everyone will know. Now, doesn't matter whichever state he plays for, everyone will track his results, how many runs he scored. It won't matter whether his team is winning the title or not. It's just how many he gets. So he is being fast tracked. But I was saying Assam because he was making conversations also.
That's right. Maybe that offer is only being made.
Yeah. So who knows? Wherever. Okay, Rakesh Bhushan with another comment on Vaibhav. He says 19-year-old Ishan Sharma made Ricky Ponting jump and hop in Perth, and now today Vaibhav at 14 treated him like a club level cricketer. That's actually so true. Good comparison, Rakesh. Life's like come a full circle. But he wants to know, Nikhil, how do these veteran players would be feeling after they've taken the beating that they received? But we did address that, Rakesh. But I like the whole comparison that you made with what happened with Ishan Sharma for Ricky Ponting, and then the shoe was on the other foot this time around. Right on the top also, I'm sure they were, Pawan, right on the top. Yeah. Medan Shroff says, that's what I wanted RR to do. Unbelievable. The net run rate for GT drops big time. RCB looking good for top 2. What a knock. Do the same to MI now. Okay, any more comments on our man Vaibhav before we... No, on this... Okay, let's quickly take... Okay. ST says as long as he keeps his feet on the ground and stays focused, the cricketing world is oyster. That's in... Sarat Chandra is saying, Nikhil sir just asking and kidding. Is he Lamine Yamal of cricket? Sarat Chandra, what a brilliant comparison. No, he's more grounded than Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal
also
does
younger.
Holidays on yachts and wears 2 glares after the win, one here and one on his head, and has quite a fancy private life. That's not the case with this young kid. I hope he stays this grounded. Yeah, but I mean, he's not just comparing the years as such. He's just saying, in the sense, like a young kid, who for Lamine in Euro for Spain just comes and really, gets the world talking. And that's what Vaibhav Suryavanshi has done. Before we move into all other aspects of the game, and boy, there are many to discuss. we'll allow Harshit, who's late, to give his 2 cents on Vaibhav before we move on.
So there was a story that we just ran on TV right now, and the TV director was like, why isn't this the Vaibhav Suryavanshi story, and why are we running Krunal Pandya right now? So the buzz has reached everywhere. The couple of people in the PCR everywhere. There's a lot of excitement. WhatsApp groups are buzzing with what Vaibhav Suryavanshi has achieved. Of course, people being a little cheeky as well with regards to his age, and that's, I think, just second nature to us in India when we see somebody extremely young just break through and bring the door down. People tend to speculate a bit, but this is not the time to speculate. Maybe it's the time to celebrate this young lad. And totally agree. When I entered, you were reading that comment of somebody saying that the world seems to be his oyster, and I can't add more, or I couldn't agree more, because today we saw flashes of real brilliance, not like we hadn't seen previously, but today he really came into his own and stamped his authority, played with a sense of fearlessness, which is what I think Sachin Tendulkar has also pointed out in the tweet that he's put out for him. So loved his fearlessness, loved the fact that RCB have have once again unearthed this talent, which they're making now a habit of unearthing talent. Yashasvi Jaiswal, remember, was one of them. So it's good on RR to have backed him in the auction, to have backed him after the auction as well, showed real faith in him, and he's reaping every penny that the franchise spent on him. There's Virendra Sehwag the other day said that he should be having a 2-decade view in mind for his career in the IPL, and he's got every reason to be believing that he can go ahead and dominate. So the fearlessness, I think, forget the stats and all, the youngest centurion, the second fastest 100, but for a 14-year-old to be showing the kind of fearlessness with which he batted today, people with 10 times more experience or even 100 times more experience than he does at the moment don't end up playing with the kind of fearlessness that he played with. And that dressing room, Rahul Dravid, the way that they all celebrated, it's not a personal success. I think it's the success of more than one person right now.
Okay, we'll head over to discuss the game, but just a reminder again, that whole Ishant Sharma comparison. Now, just come to think of it, Ishant Sharma played the first season of the IPL. It's 18 years. And Vaibhav Suryavanshi was not even an idea. Forget about him being born in this world when Ishant Sharma was playing the IPL. And today they came face to face, and it did seem after a few hits that Ishant got that it's not about getting hit or not, but he was genuinely scared and started bowling wide outside off stump in an attempt to just avoid getting hit. So see what has happened, what this young kid has achieved. I must also tell you that I got a message. I was just checking my message. One of our regular viewers is Kiran Nadar, ma'am. So she was sending me messages saying, is he 14? And I said, yes, ma'am, he is 14 on
Paper.
And so she then pointed out a very interesting thing, which she says that, listen, when he speaks, and I heard him, that clearly says that his voice hasn't broken yet, which means his voice is going to break. And he's also going to gain height. So he's still developing. So there's a good chance he is.
And I also personally did not think that he can be 14. But once you interact, you realize that he's not more than 14.
As I said, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From today, we will not remember him as a 14-year-old. Let's remember him as the youngest centurion in IPL history. Let's remember him as the second fastest centurion in IPL history. That's what he has achieved. That's what he's done in just one game. Okay, now let's turn our attention to what is it that Gujarat Titans did. They're sitting now third in the points table, but their net run rate has definitely taken a beating. They still have a game in hand compared to the two teams that sit above them, which is Royal Challengers Bengaluru and Mumbai Indians. They are in a position that if they were to win their next game, they would still go top, because RCB doesn't have that good a net run rate as GT does. So that's how far ahead GT was, that despite this big loss, they are still in a position to top the table, having played the same amount of games as all other teams. But the question is, the team that had the best bowling lineup was massacred today. You're defending 209 and the game gets done with 25 balls to spare. That's not a good bowling card. What happened?
I think they were a bit unlucky today.
Unlucky.
Yes, you look at some of those runs and not 5, 10, maybe multiple of 10, I would say. Quite a few of those runs were down to sheer luck for both the RR openers today. And I'm not being ungracious to RR over here. You look at the slogging that you saw in the power play. Some of those were very streaky boundaries, and I thought the GT bowlers were extremely unlucky. There was a catch dropped as well, let's not forget, and you don't see that from a Joss Butler happen very often. I know it's the second time this season that we've seen him drop the kind of catch that he should have taken, but otherwise I felt if that momentum was broken right up top, maybe the outcome could have been different. But those weren't the most well hit runs in the power play. Especially the two batters realized that this is a batting surface, so they went for it, but there were too many boundaries that came off the edge. There were too many boundaries that went where there was no fielders, and not every ball that went over the rope was middled. So I thought that there was some amount of luck, and you need luck at times to go your side, to be with you when you have to pull off a chase like this. Could GT have been more innovative? Perhaps, but were they horribly bad in the power play? Maybe not.
No, I thought the GT were horribly bad for
bowling
many everything. Firstly, the first question is, why is the Shubman Gill sitting out? Those days are gone where you know, all batter, if he got a 70, 80, whatever, batters would then sit out and not come out to field. This is the IPL. You got to be in a competitive position. If you've batted for that much amount of time, you have to be out there fielding. You could be tired, I agree. He's got bulk of the runs for his team. But those days are in the 90s. In the 90s, you used to have a situation where if a batter faced 50 to 100 deliveries, he's not coming out to field. You can't do that. You're the firstly regular captain. You have to come out and do it, right? In the middle of the season, to have Rashid Khan to do the job of being a captain, that's blunder number one that Gujarat has done. Number two, I think the bowling changes. I'm sorry, but two things. One, you said they were streaky, but I also thought that you were not applying your brains. Ishant Sharma is bowling right outside the off stump. Now what happens? You saw this same team versus this same Rajasthan Royals. They had a plan, right? They got a Jaiswal dismissed at deep point and they kept the third man a bit wider. They got a Nitish Rana. They had come up with plans. Today, the problem is that because Vaibhav Suryavanshi is a new kid, you do not have that plan and you thought that he'll be just a hit and a miss thing. He is swinging the bat. You're bowling outside the off stump. If you know that that's the nature of the bat, there are only two places that ball can go if he mistimes. Right? One is either he'll go fine towards the third man or deep point. You don't have a fielder there. He kept getting out. Or then change the line. Then if I'm Ishant Sharma, then I'm bowling stump to stump line. Okay, and daring him to take a hit, because there if he misses, I hit or he hits it cleanly, right? You're bowling outside an off line, stump line, and you're not keeping fielders there. All he's doing is swinging his bat, even if he's not timing it, no problem. Edges 4. Again, edge 4. Still no fielder. Again, edge 4. It took them multiple hits like that. Then to eventually, when Prasidh Krishna came, then they put in that fine third man, and then what happened? Vaibhav Suryavanshi stopped slashing it and started guiding it. But those are thought process of the captain is doing, I don't know. Secondly, okay, fine, they've had one of the craziest power plays that we've seen this IPL, right? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to make some bowling changes to help me get my wickets. Prasidh Krishna has been my most outstanding bowler. I'm getting an Ishant Sharma to bowl before a Prasidh Krishna. See the difference that Prasidh Krishna made when he bowls the first over. And see how tough it gets for a Vaibhav Suryavanshi to face him compared to how easily he was hitting Ishant Sharma. But the point is, by that time he has got 40-45 runs under his belt. He's in form. Now he can afford to play a few dot balls. If you wanted to put pressure, you should have got a Prasidh. That extra pace that he had, Vaibhav initially found it tough. But the pressure didn't come on him because he was batting at 200 strike rate, having smashed Ishant Sharma and Siraj before that. Secondly, you're putting a Washington Sundar to bowl before you come yourself. You are Rashid Khan, sir. You are the captain of the team. The match is going to slip out of your grasp. That's how fast they are going. Take the ball and get a wicket. I'm sorry, but Washington Sundar is a player that GT themselves don't play him. It to me seems like the reason they're playing him is because of his batting. Today also he got and the other day when he got runs also he was batting at 4. So effectively you think he's a good batter. His bowling, I've said it before also on this very platform, I don't think his bowling inspires confidence. I don't think he's a wicket-taking bowler. More often than not, he'll get hit for runs, and the times he'll get wicket is when the batter is being overly aggressive against him and he'll get wicket. He's not the guy. You take the entire pressure off him, you're getting Ishant and a Washington Sundar to bowl. When you yourself have not bowled 1 over, okay, I could have agreed. Rashid came and not having a great season, he gets hammered in the first 2 over he bowled. Then your third option can be that. Or Prasidh came at a bad day, third option. So I think GT, apart from the drop catches, which happens, does not happen, poor execution, right from the fact of Shubman not coming out to captain to what Rashid Khan did at the beginning. And then my pet peeve, you are losing the game, you're doing nothing, your second highest wicket taker this IPL, for the third game in a row, you don't go to him because the left-hander is on the crease.
And Washington Sundar also bowled because of the same reason.
But they are not learning their lesson. Somebody need to tell Gujarat, get over that lefty cannot bowl to a lefty.
Kareem Jannat went for 30 runs.
But how does Kareem Jannat even play? I can't understand. For what reason?
You didn't see that long, he started crying.
You know, this is where
when he got the cap from Rashid Khan.
What was
why
it mean?
is Gerard Coetzee not playing?
My point is exactly, if you are losing, if you are in a bad state in this league, then you bring in, I'm not kidding, when I saw Kareem Jannat's name on that, I was like, what are they doing? Like they have decided, or they are so confident that we have qualified.
IL T20 champion.
He got a 20-minute long speech from Rashid Khan while receiving the cap.
So he thought, I'll give 30 runs in 1 over.
He felt like it looked like he's more happier than her Afghanistan debut as compared to.
This is an interesting stat actually that just crossed my mind, that Rashid Khan, the IPL captain, has been on the receiving end of 2 of the most historic knocks in IPL. Rinku Singh, 5 sixes, and now Vaibhav Suryavanshi. He was the captain in that game also and in this game also. Here, stand-in captain although, but still. I think yes, completely poor changes. There was no application whatsoever. If one of the things that Gujarat Titans had done consistently in their last few games is to have their wicket-taking bowlers bowl up front in Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, maybe someone like Rashid Khan also for that matter. And that's where, Ishant Sharma was used predominantly as a middle overs bowler. He even did well in the, few matches that he played as a middle overs bowler, bowling 2 or 3 wickets, giving away 20 odd runs and picking a wicket. There was completely role change. Ishant Sharma as a new ball bowler in the T20 format has never inspired any confidence whatsoever for any franchise that he has played, or maybe for India also. And that's where those bowling changes, I think there was nothing to show at all. They were just blown away by one man, but then you cannot really just put the blame on the fact that there was a classic knock that was being played. They were equally poor bowling changes.
Did anyone think that Gujarat are also to be blamed for the way they batted? I know at the end of the way that they finish, a Shubman's strike rate looks rather impressive. But the way they both started, Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill, I think they were both in the 120 odd strike rate range, if I'm not mistaken. And while you finish, do you think that this approach that Gujarat has, which is also good, that consolidate on top and get runs, it has worked for them and they still are the best team of this season of the IPL. Do you think that is a bit of a blunder, maybe on occasions where you get a flat pitch like that, you need to be a bit more adventurous?
No, I think according to me, it wasn't that flat of a wicket. To begin with, also 177 was the average run scores over here, first innings on this particular wicket.
Could have been a different strip. On a game where
same 210. I'm talking about the strip. I'm talking about.
But on a given day,
it was a belter.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If one team has got 210 and the other chases with 25 balls to spare, it can't be a tough play.
I think it was, I'll be very honest over here, I think what we witnessed today was something very special. If not for this knock, I don't think Rajasthan would have gotten even close to this target. The only reason for that is because spinners, even Theekshana bowled pretty well today as compared to the other bowlers, and their second spinner in Hasaranga went for runs, but he's not having a great season anyways. So overall, I feel the wicket would have gotten a little slower later on. So they calculated and reached to 200, and I think 200 was a good enough total on this wicket. And 185, if I'm not wrong, was the highest chase at this ground before this. So I think that wasn't the
85,
problem.
yeah.
No, but see again, past instances sometimes are not the right way. I mean, like today, as I said, I don't know, it's a belter of a track. The other team is also batting rather aggressively, and you saw even.
Yashasvi.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the second team though batted like that amazingly, but
Butler.
Yeah, the first team as well, everyone, and you see how much it worked out for Shubman Gill also the latter half when he started attacking. I think this was a pitch where everyone could have gone a bit higher. I think the opening thing, maybe they just need slight changes. Just slight changes to their approach, the openers also. Fine, you can play that consolidation game 8 times or 7 times out of 10 it'll work for them. But when you realize and you've spent some time on the pitch, you know, yeah, this one I have to go a bit harder. Because see again, as I said, the bowling changes are bad and some drop catches. But even then, 209, at least in the mid innings, I thought could be a game on, despite the fact that, and all you needed was, you know, another 10-15 more runs, a few bowling changes, then it would have been 18 needed of last 2 overs, and then you know there was only one winner. But you gave them a chance to finish.
I think this is, you know, sometimes the disadvantage that a team faces when you have your top order scoring the, bulk, who are basically doing the bulk of the scoring, in middle order does not really get a chance. Happened with the Indian cricket team from 2013 and in 2019. You did not really have a middle order at that time in the ODI World Cup. And this is where you look at Sudarshan, Shubman Gill and Jos Buttler. I'm sure that, you know, they have done more than 70% of the scoring that Gujarat Titans have had this season. So I think where I feel Gujarat Titans lacked was the finishing part. They could have finished a bit more strongly. I'm not really going to put the blame on the top 3 here or maybe the openers. I think it's just that the finishing could have been better.
But finishing, what you had all of 14 deliveries, you know, between Sundar,
So
Tewatia,
how would you
Khan.
improve that finishing if you don't give them enough balls to face also? That's what I'm saying.
I
Take
somewhere
some risk
feel,
on
and I
top.
remember,
if you get out, they get more deliveries.
I said that a couple of weeks back as well. It's both a strength and a weakness for Gujarat. The fact that you rely so heavily on your top 3, at times you were a bit circumspect, as you were probably today. I still maintain that a better bowling effort would have not resulted in such a mauling that they got eventually, and that makes you question the batting more than the bowling. Any other team, I remember saying at the halfway stage, this total was kind of under par or you know, would have been 45-55, because better teams RR at the halfway stage weren't giving you a lot of hope that they'd be able to get to this total. But it's eventually down to one freakish knock that changed the entire thing. I doubt if Gujarat have endured enough to move past what has thus far been a winning formula for them. But I maintain that come the crucial stage of the tournament, this could come back to haunt you. You need, and where will that faith come from? That faith will come from when you see your middle order bat more often. That unfortunately hasn't been the case. So it's a two-edged sword. How, if you ask your frontline batters to be more aggressive, there's a chance of them losing their wickets, and you don't know how the middle order then shows up for you. And the other way, if they end up scoring at the rate at which they score, then at times you could be found with an under par total.
So solve this question now that I'm looking at Gujarat's team. Kareem Jannat had a buyer and nobody bought Shardul Thakur. The IPL.
But why did Kareem Jannat even play? Because Rutherford,
Serious.
no injury, nothing.
There is no update that they have done.
Yeah.
He
Forget
could
how
be injured.
how did he get a buyer and nobody bought Shardul Thakur? I just want to know, because they are same, no, bowling all-rounders. Same role. I'm just thinking.
Kareem
And
Jannat hitter, hard hitter, no?
so same role, they are bowling all-rounders, no?
The same bowler who got hit for 4 sixes by Asif Ali
So
in that
Yeah,
Asia
yeah,
Cup,
yeah.
So-
or T20 World Cup. Yeah.
So they have got, that's what I'm saying. And then he's an overseas player. Any team, I'm just trying to think of the logic. Like, what would be the logic? I'm trying to think, people. So you bought a Kareem Jannat and you thought Shardul wasn't good enough. Whereas not only is Shardul a better cricketer who's played at a much higher level and more consistently than him, and on top of that, this is a 80% more chance that Shardul can play because I can play so many more Indians. And overseas slots are so limited, I can't even fit him. And yet people thought that yes, I should.
I'm telling
buy
you,
him.
it's all in IPL auctions now. I've realized this over so
Man,
many years.
amazing.
The only thing is, it's the Hawa. Where is the Hawa going? That is where every team goes.
So
If
then
the
I
Hawa
think
is
Shardul
towards
should
Karim
buy
Jannat, if it's not towards
players like
Shardul-
Shardul and everyone should buy some panthas.
No, but I'm
Like MS Dhoni does the fan
I
ad.
think,
na?
I think he has
Naye
a
wale
point.
fan
No, no,
ad.
but
No, I think he has a point. Pawan Negi. Delhi
yeah,
Capitals.
everybody wants to go after
That's what
him.
I'm
Then.
saying. So what do they have to do?
No, then
what are
the
these
scouts doing? I want to know. Because scouts.
Players? These two don't need scout. They play international cricket.
Yeah,
Scouts
no,
are like
see,
some
what is
unknown
the
player.
One word trap. One person has a thought process, and all 10 teams are following
saying
that.
that happens for unknown players because I don't know whatever is the Hawa.
Even for Indian players,
Arey,
they decided
you can see what they do, what they bring to the
they
table.
don't see na.
You and me are not scouts,
We
but
are
then we
seeing.
see Karim Jannat playing, we see Shardul
Where I
Thakur
never
playing.
see Karim Jannat play.
Who
Wherever
do
he's
you know where-
playing, nobody.
So then you know what I have to do. Scouts, though, okay, fine. You said not everyone would have seen how Vaibhav Suryavanshi can play because a lot of games he's playing which are not televised. Or what a Priyansh Arya did, maybe, or not everyone watched the Delhi Premier League. Whatever, I can still understand. Okay, some scout says, oh, I saw this young kid, UP League, he's doing that. I can agree. That Hawa agreed. But these are international players. You see them day in
Hawa
and day
is for
out.
them
you
also.
know.
No, there's this Hawa that Shardul cannot play T20.
No, but why
So
is
nobody bought him?
Why is even
Karim Jannat is a good finisher, so everybody wanted to buy him. GT bought him.
No, but you would
It's just
rather
that. It's
you would
just the
rather have
mahal.
played a specialist pace bowler in Gerald Kodzia.
No, all rounder they needed. No.
That's fine, but then
There are many options that
Yeah.
this team has. And then they don't bowl Sai Kishore.
They have Rajasthan also.
They are getting hammered. They are losing the match. And they're not bowling him.
Rajasthan also got in today. What was his name? Yudhvir Singh Charak in place
Uh-huh.
of Tushar Deshpande.
no Akash Madwal.
Yudhvir
Exactly.
Singh Charak.
Exactly.
What is
Still,
happening?
featuring in impact subs.
Same team was backed. Vaibhav Suryavanshi played him so well. Such a good
No,
decision.
also, I would really like
Akash
that
Madwal is not
Gujarat Titans, provide some clarification on both Rabada and Kodzia. Kodzia is not
Rabada
even.
to he told na.
Yeah, he's going to come back
10 days.
soon, but
10
yeah,
days he said. 10 days he'll be
In
back.
case of Kodzia, there is no update at all, whether he's injured or whatever it is.
They don't
there.
even need
He
that. at
is.
the
He
moment.
was sitting in the dugout today.
Oh.
Well, stand-in captain would have wanted. He plays.
Ah.
Oh.
Karim Jannat.
How do
Could be.
I can't think of any logic.
You never know what's happening in the IPL. Who's traveling, who's not. Somebody is not traveling.
Samsung was there today.
No, but so many people.
He never travelled only, na?
In between 2-3 days, there were so many questions over Arjun Tendulkar that why is he not traveling, because
That I understand. He's not playing. He's not captain. I can
he
understand.
was there.
But he is the captain. Today, at least, their actual captain was there
was there at the ground.
at the ground. Okay.
You heard that clip that time?
I heard it, yes. I heard it was true. Medan Shroff from the UK has another question. He says, poor Sai Kishore. What are they doing with him? I wish I had an answer.
Nothing.
At least they're playing him.
Huh.
There are lots of franchises didn't play him.
Including this franchise also, which didn't find ways of playing him last year, but chalo, now they have.
Ashish Dhar says, ABD and Virat Kohli era, RCB should have won 2 to 3 IPL titles. What do you have to say?
Ideally, they should have, with the kind of batters that they had.
Should not have, with the kind of bowling attack they had, they should have never won an IPL, and rightly so they haven't.
They haven't.
I think that is a way of the cricketing world telling them that just by packing your team with batters and superstar batters who are very competent, all of them, you can't win. You need to have a right balance.
The 1, 2,
That's
3,
the-
4 used to be so nice. Virat, KL.
उसके बाद ओपालन हारे निर्गुण यार.
Virat, KL and ABD KL. Right. There was the balance. Balance was there
They
on
had
top
one
4.
season Maxwell also firing for them.
Yeah.
Just one.
2022.
Yeah.
But imagine
Yeah.
It would
that
have been-
season.
Well, how good it would have been if KL would have gone to RCB, then KL and Virat open.
Did you
And
hear
three Patidar.
Virat's audio on that celebration?
No, I wasn't able to understand. I tried to.
No, he said.
Yeah.
You didn't hear it. It's
I-
clear. He said that.
अच्छा वो
Ah,
out.
My
no,
plan was to
KL
finish the
said,
game.
First KL said कि अच्छा हुआ. I was telling everyone out हो गया because अगर not out रहता तो मुझे ज़रूर वो करता. So Virat said that my plan was to do it like that, but then I would have given you a hug after that because people don't know that what banter you and I have. They see it and then they start commenting. देखो बदला ये वो whatever. Said that. Wonder who he was talking about. People commenting from the outside.
Pawan Raju has a comment
He
and
doesn't listen to outside noise.
No, people tag him on social media, then what to do now? You try not to go and, unlike you, he doesn't specifically subscribe to channels and go listen. But some people put clips
Now I
in.
can't.
That's why I'm saying, I'm feeling very bad for him. Poor guy. How will he pass his...
I'll suggest him a
time.
few things.
No, he won't see. Are they intellectually smart things? Then he's not going to watch that. Find the cheapest, low-hanging fruit of content which is consumed by masses.
While
That he will.
Now that you've said it so since 1 year, you're saying that now automatically my taste has started to change.
How it's changing? You're feeling upset today.
No, I'm
now.
not. I'm just kidding. I told you so many days I've not been
You
watching.
knew that what
Yeah,
had
I
happened.
knew.
That means you.
No, I'll tell you what. So there are phases of the content I watch. First, I watch something that's
intellectually stimulating.
That bit of content is the last when I play and I sleep. That was for
your
sleeping.
nursery rhymes.
Yeah, that was sleeping thing. I'm not able to sleep without that.
That's what
without noise.
without outside noise.
Because it's fun and banter. I really
White
enjoy
noise.
it.
Okay, Pawan Raju has a comment, and just like that, Mumbai Indians' net run rate is obviously better. Next match, Vaibhav's biggest challenge, I think it is going to be against Mumbai Indians only. Let's just confirm.
Yeah.
Fact, Rohit Sharma is older than his IPL team's batting coach, who happens to be Kieran Pollard. Yeah.
So what is the point in that? Can't you be older than your coach?
Can we?
Yeah. But you know what? I think what the larger point is also making, and some people also wrote to me on social media when I was talking about his 100, that the real test of Vaibhav Suryavanshi will come now, because till now, you were unaware of the challenge. You thought, okay, this young kid who's going to be a bit adventurous. But now that everyone has seen how he can, impact games and turn them around, I think you will see teams coming up with better plans. It is going to happen, and that will be his real test. Not to say that he won't do well. Maybe he continues on this streak, but it is going to be, 1 or 2 notches above for him to deal with that.
I remember now an interesting fact here that relation to this, Rohit is older than his IPL team's batting coach. I once interviewed the Brazil women's cricket team's head coach, Liam Cook. I don't know whether he's associated with them.
Team?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So the thing is with
Brazil has a cricket
Brazil
team,
women's
and that too women's cricket team.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So it's an interesting story.
Indians must be playing.
No, they have the local leads there. The point there is that Brazil women's team was the first one to be awarded a full-time contract ahead of the men's team. That was one of the stories that even ICC also broke.
Cricket.
Yeah. So when I basically did that special story on them, I got to know that most of the female cricketers were older than the head coach himself, who was around 28 years old.
Must be. I'm just surprised they had enough people playing cricket there.
There's a crazy women's cricket story that I heard the other day. It came from Alyssa Healy as to where overarm bowling came from. Have you heard that one?
No.
So she in a podcast revealed that overarm bowling is not something that actually men's cricket invented. It was actually through women's cricket, because women found it difficult, and back then there weren't any track pants. Women would be wearing their skirts and playing, and underarm bowling would hamper their movement. So they were the ones. Women's cricket is where overarm bowling first came about, because that skirt would then hamper your movement, so you had to find another way of bowling and bowling fast. So in women's cricket you first saw overarm bowling, and men's cricket then took it.
Actually, underarm men's cricket would have been fun. You just spin the ball like that and throw it like that.
Underspin.
No issue of the arm.
No angle.
It's crazy spin you get.
Ashwin to then would have been
Unplayable. The ball pitches there, and
Ashwin was once developing a ball also, right? Where
and how would you
bowl and
hit
it come
sixes?
back. He once said it in an interview.
Yeah, he said that. Shashwat is right, yeah.
What?
He said that in an interview himself. I'm
Like,
not making it up.
What did he say?
He was trying to make a ball which goes, pitches and comes back to him.
He said that.
He said it himself. I'm not making it up.
That's not called a ball. That's called a boomerang.
Boomerang. No.
What will be the point?
Boomerang.
But he said
No,
it. He
he is
seriously
right.
said
He said
that.
that.
I'm not making
He
this up.
said that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he must be like it will stop a bit. I can
No,
understand.
no,
How
no.
can it bounce and come back?
Come back.
He
That
said
too
Unless
and
it's got
throw.
a yo-yo string attached. Then
He said it in these many words that I'm working
Nikhil,
on
at that
it.
time it did become a meme material. It did happen.
Yeah.
I remember.
Show me.
Fully, he said that it will go and it will come back to me.
But then he'll have to bowl again.
I can understand that it'll go and then it'll just stop on the batter.
No, he meant this only, that it will come back to me.
Spongy bounce.
And then I'll bowl the maiden over.
Okay, Mutton Biryani says, I'm just gobsmacked. I mean, I don't know what to say. I think you're speaking for all of us. We were all gobsmacked. It's just that we have a job to do where we earn our bread and butter by talking, so we had to talk. Otherwise, we were left gobsmacked. We were speechless. Neil Lard says, did GT underscore on a flat pitch? That's the question that I posed to my friends here.
Yeah.
And we've already answered that with mixed results. Some thought yes, some thought no. Mehraj Rules from Canada says, I said this before, GT doesn't evoke any emotion regardless of results. Also, they won't qualify. It'll be MI, RCB, Punjab and SRH.
Not even DC. No DC,
He's
no.
joking. He's saying they're fresh from the waters. Wink, wink.
Wink.
No, but I can bet that GT are qualifying. I'm ready to place a bet on that. GT are qualifying. Others, I don't know. They could be drops up and down. RCB also, I think, are pretty much done. We are sitting on 14. No, 14, no, is...
Tomorrow DCs, I think, will be decided.
Who are they playing?
KKR.
Sir, answer is going now. Did he manage to get the tickets?
I don't know.
No idea.
Be a good game, huh? Corbo Lorbo. Okay. Rakesh Bhushan says, what has happened to Rashid? Are the batsmen reading him well or has he lost his craft? This edition, barring Suryavanshi, all leg spinners are looking ordinary. Yuzi and Bishnoi are not consistent. Yuzi I still thought looking good. Bishnoi, I'm not surprised. I thought, with his tricks, he'll get figured out. But with Rashid, it's now happened for 2 seasons in a row. So not just this season, even last season wasn't great for him. And I've said this before. Personally, I feel that he's lost a bit of zip. His shoulder speed was such that that ball would really come off the pitch, which would make it very tough for batters to play. I think that is not happening. And secondly, I also have a feeling that batters used to make a mistake, like whenever it was a bit short on the length, they would go back to Rashid, and that would be the wrong thing to do, and he would trap a lot of them leg before and bowled. I think batters are now playing him a bit like medium pacers, so they know this ability of his. And not, like how for medium pacer, you'd rather play him on the front foot as well. I think they're doing that. That's just my observation for a few overs that I watched carefully. Rakesh Bhushan says, high time Arjun Tendulkar should change his franchise. One should give him 3-4 opportunities to check his capabilities right now. It seems he is not even travelling with MI.
Mumbai did give him 3 or 4 opportunities. Yeah.
I've said it earlier. I mean,
He'll play as a bowler or as a batter?
he's a bowler.
No, but
He's a bowler who can bat a bit.
Yuvraj Singh has said that give me him for 6 months, I'll make him the best batter.
That's why I don't appreciate his quality of content that he watches.
Why? No, he's only said it.
So how does him saying means anything?
He bats really well as well, na? That's
No, he does not.
He has 100 in Ranji Trophy, na?
No, I don't think so.
He has a Ranji Trophy 100.
I don't think so.
Yeah, for Goa.
I don't know.
Let's
He's
check his
primarily
stats, please.
Primarily a bowler he is now.
No, go down.
I mean,
Yeah, this
he
link.
has said, keep them. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whatever he must have said.
Yeah, he has 100.
Still, but you look at his overall figures in first class cricket is
Averaging 20.
no, averaging 33.
First class. This is
33 averages in first class cricket.
no, but the only thing is that he.
No, sorry,
With
you're
the-
right.
with the bat, it's-
23.
Yeah.
My apology.
No, but the only thing is that he was drafted in the Mumbai Indians. But before him, you played Satyanarayan Raju and then Ashwini Kumar. All fast bowlers are playing ahead of
but
him.
see, they see a lot of other things that you and I don't, right?
Yeah, true.
So
There have to be things that we
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't think there is any personal bias there.
Yeah.
And I doubt if they can afford to have it.
That's another thing.
If Sachin Tendulkar is your mentor and unofficial whatnot, then you can't have a bias.
He's already changed his state now. He can try franchise also. He's changing his franchise. State to his change, na?
He is free to change the franchise. Did
Yeah.
any franchise bid for him?
Yeah, someone did apart from
No.
Mumbai.
Only once, Gujarat
Only one
Titans
Gujarat
did.
did it.
Only Ashish Nehra, that
Yeah.
too.
So, how can he change? There has to be interest from the
Yeah.
franchise, and there's a reason there's no interest now. Pronit Datta is saying, 2 years older than my son, 14-year-old smashed 100 test match old Ishant, Indian player Washi, best T20 spinner, Rashid, one of India's best fast bowlers, Siraj, take a bow to what Vaibhav Suryavanshi said. So imagine for people like Pronit who must have a 12-year-old at home and he sees a 14-year-old, he'll be like, what is this happening? What is this happening? I agree, incredible what we've witnessed today. Mark the date, the calendar. You've witnessed something really special. AJ says, but Nick's MS won IPL with Tushar as main bowler. So why RCB didn't win IPL with Stark? Stark might win IPL with DC this year, but didn't win with RCB. But that's because Tushar, even in that season, was getting hammered. They had other bowlers that really chipped in, no? RCB more often than not have had not a great bowling lineup, and somehow even some good bowlers that played for them were underperforming for whatever reason. So he needed to get that balance. Now that's the issue. Mehraj Rules has a very interesting comment. He joins us from Canada. He says Harshid's promotion from jail clothes to an officer. I agree. He was wearing.
See, weekend is jail only. Monday. Monday you get a little promotion.
Karthik K joins us from the US. He says, I thought this would be a boring game and started watching my NBA shows. Who are making excuses for LeFraud James need to catch up whirlwind innings on highlights. Karthik, if you missed the game, yes, do check out the highlights. For more analysis on the innings, of course, you have
Highlights
only
they can
one
check here
destination, Match Point on Sports Today.
Yeah, highlights coming up in half an hour. अरे Mehraj Rules has a bet for you. 100 की लग गई.
Mehraj Rules done. But Soso, you have to specify INR or your Canadian
Yeah,
dollars. 'Cause
that
I can't
changes the
afford-
bet.
I can't afford your Canadian dollars. Only my salary is also under scrutiny right now. So all the more. I haven't submitted my bills.
Is there clarity about whether you will be getting a
I'm
message
not
day
my-
after or
No,
not?
I'm not, because I'm not finished with my Okay, last couple of comments before we wind up. Kiran Khatri says, can you take my comment? You are Paras Chabra's doppelganger. Kiran Khatri is saying. Some Paras Chabra who's in Big Boss, you are lookalike.
Pawan would know.
I don't.
Is he
Ah,
lookalike?
is he?
No, Pawan says no. Sorry, Kiran. Syed Nizamuddin is saying beautiful, fantastic, marvelous, tremendous, extraordinary, brilliant, magnificent innings. I don't have any, neither do I have any breath left to read more words. To add to that list, innings played by Suryavanshi. We all
Need to
echo
call
your
Shankar Mahadevan.
We all echo your sentiments. Parminder Singh is saying, I was there in the KKR PBKS match facilities are not as good as they claim. How can water goes into the pitch if it was covered and they cover the pitch before the rain has come?
No, at times the way you remove the cover, it slips.
So that's also bad. Now the ground staff should be trained.
Yeah. Should be. Ideally. That happened once in Guwahati, right?
Yes.
They did not remove the covers
Cover
properly.
properly.
and it
Yes.
same problem.
On that note, thank you very much for joining. Anything anybody wants to say?
I think this is just an aberration for Gujarat Titans. They are going to make a comeback.
There you go.
Obviously.
Come on, Mehraj.
100 की.
If I win, I'll take 100 Canadian dollars. If you win, 100 rupees.
They would
We'll
be
pay from whatever we earn. I earn in rupees, he earns in dollars, yeah.
See, they would be hurt and they should be hurt, but I think they are going to make a comeback for sure.
Yeah, but comeback happens after what Rajasthan did today, 5 losses. GT had 1 loss.
Still, but this is a
but
massive
like if
loss.
they- but if they
the
win
manner
one-
of the loss is very.
I agree, but
heartbreaking.
But I mean, next if they win is also not. They're not in a stage where they need a comeback right now. As I said, if they win the next game, which is against Sunrisers Hyderabad, who are going to be back from a holiday in the Maldives. So, by the way, I got the resort right. I checked.
Okay.
It's the Taj.
It is. I saw it and I was like, I've been there. I can recognize it. And it was, so I went and checked if it is that same one. They are there.
They're still there.
I don't know whether they're there, but they were in that resort. If they're still there or not.
Need to come
No,
back.
the match is now second, which is Friday.
Yeah.
They can
So
still
they
be there. They have a
can
long gap.
enjoy over
Gujarat can also chill. So Gujarat will be on 9 games, where a lot of teams would be on 11. Because they have a big gap too. They can also take a holiday now. After this loss, they deserve. Today is Monday.
You should take
Tuesday,
Vaibhav
Wednesday, Thursday
Suryavanshi
off.
with him.
Yeah.
You should take Vaibhav Suryavanshi with him.
They can do that. They can do that. Anybody giving Rajasthan? No, they can't.
No.
They'll at best get to 14, which will never
They'll
take
spoil someone's party. It
they-
could happen, yeah.
possibility.
But tomorrow, if Delhi loses, they
Then-
might be.
Then it'll set the alarm bells ringing.
And it might be the team who might just slip. Then
No, I still don't think Delhi.
Delhi are
You
quite
have
all
got
round.
the tickets.
But Delhi will lose tomorrow.
But if there's any team that
No,
is
even if
slipping,
they lose, I'm saying they're not.
Spot
They're not going to be that bothered. These guys are
I
such
should be-
scaredy cats.
No,
these
I should be
Delhi
bothered
fans.
then.
No,
They-
you
I
won't
will have to
panic.
if
give
there's
the
any
shoes.
team
But
that
not
will
if
slip,
they-
na,
Huh.
it'll be Punjab Kings.
Yeah, but they panic. They're sitting on 12 points. You need 2 wins, yeah. You lose the next one also 10 games. You still have 4 games and you need 2 wins. 50% success rate. That is if you lose tomorrow.
No, you're winning tomorrow.
Don't panic that. No, I'm saying be prepared for the worst even if you lose. And maybe God has heard Saransh's prayers. Even then you don't have to worry. Don't have to worry. You will cruise through.
I'll lose the bet for sure if Delhi loses tomorrow. Almost.
Not at
But
all.
then you need RCB
you
to
could
be
still-
losing as well,
one,
which
yeah.
could happen.
Very good one. You can reach. You are sitting on 12 in 4 games. You can get 8 points. That's 20 points you can go to, sir. What is wrong with you? If you win 4.
Yeah, win 4. No?
So when, it doesn't mean you've lost the bet. Who says? So early you give up, yeah, for everything.
Team is such na that.
You lost faith in your team so fast. Some time back you
I have
could not.
faith in the franchise. In the team, I don't know how much faith do I have.
What does that mean?
What are you
कहना क्या चाहते
Can
हो?
I want to say that Delhi. I'm a fan of Delhi Capitals. The people keep on changing, na, so you cannot be.
So you don't trust this bunch of players.
I don't trust any bunch of players, whoever are associated with
No
Delhi.
wonder your team doesn't win. They have the same mentality as well. See, you keep sitting here and harping. You should trust players, believe in them, allow them, and you yourself are like
Yeah,
this. That's why the team. Fans mirror the team.
That's true.
So there you,
But they are not listening to their fans.
you have the same thought process anyway.
My team is sitting on
And
7
he's
points.
still saying they'll beat you. See,
they will.
that's
You
the
know,
confidence.
If Delhi
KKR
would have been
fan.
at that spot, na, even I would have been confident and
So
optimistic.
you like being.
No, that's not the thing. Here it's, it's just that if we miss out from here, na, it's going to be hard.
So you rather
But
be
why
in a
will you-
position where you keep.
I think you've seen
staying-
some very good cricket, Sarshad,
Top
from
2,
Delhi.
Harshit sir, if you don't finish in top 2, you know.
So-
My point is, he's saying that he'd rather have his team be 6-7, 6-7 and maybe qualify than be one of the top
There's
teams.
only 20% of the teams that make it to the top 2, na?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fine, yeah. There's only 2 teams who can make it, and of course it'll be good if Delhi are one of those 2 teams. But
Top
there's
4.
there's a 3rd and a 4th spot as well. So what? And you played a game short right now. All the more reason for you to be high on spirit if Delhi had played a game more. Now, by that logic,
See, even if you lose, you'll still be same position as Mumbai, who you are saying. So, what is there to worry about?
yeah.
See, other teams, he admires
You
them.
did, you see,
His
you
own
have to
team,
take these losses as well. Even though I'm backing Delhi to win tomorrow, even if you were to lose, then for all the good work that you've done, you were only preparing for these days and these uncertainties on your way to the playoffs. Nobody has this roller coaster of a ride, right? Look at what happened to RR last season. Not everyone can have the kind of storyline that an RCB has this season, winning all away games, or the kind of storyline that they did last year, which is win 6-7 games on the trot.
Why I'm a little more scared is that you've been in such a good position only thrice in 18 years. I don't want to waste it. That's the only thing.
No, why waste it? Yeah, there's been good all-round cricket for you to believe that Delhi have a strong case of making to the top 4. Anyhow, we shall return tomorrow. It's DC versus KKR. Hopefully, one of us will be there at the stadium tomorrow to give us more inputs. Yeah, there is Saransh now who's trying. But
Trying. Just trying. You're not.
are you confirmed with tickets? So still trying.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Let's hope for the best. Let's hope that it is 2 points for Delhi as well tomorrow. But that's just what Sashwat and I feel. For all those joining us right now, thank you so much for your company. Shubh Ratri, Shabba Care, good night, take good care, Nandri, eat your vegetables,
And don't
and
trouble your mother.
we'll see you tomorrow.
Subscribe to Sports Today.
Yeah. There were other day there were this notes and all that was in front of him, and that's exactly the joke that people had in mind. What you worry about? Summer holidays, homework.